We'd like to call the meeting to order. Just look down the line.
Okay, ready.
Roll call, Mr. Crowdy?
Mr. Accomando? Mrs. Borelli? Ms. Ainello?
Here.
Ms. Mahoney?
Here.
Mr. Quinn?
Here.
Ms. Robinson?
Here.
Ms. Roloff?
Here.
Mr. White? Ms. Otterelli? Ms.
Stand.
Otterelli?
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excuse me. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, please be advised that all cell phones and electronic devices are to be turned off. Can we have the superintendent's report, please?
I have no report for this evening.
Okay.
Save it for Wednesday.
Business administrator's report?
I'm going to hold mine till Wednesdays too, when I'll discuss some current projects, give an update on the November question, and the Energy Savings Improvement Program. So on Wednesday, I'll give a detailed report.
Thank you. Okay, committee and liaison reports. Everybody should have the new committee list. I'm assuming there are no reports, since they have just begun. One of the questions that we were wondering is how the board would feel about getting the agendas on Friday as opposed to Wednesday. Seems one of the issues is coming out so early. It's continually just having to be added to because it's almost a week before the meeting. And this will give the administration more time to give out a more complete agenda. Any discussion?
Chair, I'm not for that. I think sometimes there are things in that agenda we need to look into. We need to do our little investigation, so to speak amongst ourselves, whatever. And I don't think Friday gives us that much time and allow us to do that. And most of the time, the add-ins really don't affect, other than the fact that they're add-ins, but the bulk of the agenda, I think we need right when it is. I don't like coming in and having to vote on something I haven't had an opportunity to really look into.
Any other comments?
Through the chair, the reason, it used to be Friday, and the reason we changed it a few years ago, I believe, Ray, is so that people could ask their questions and could comment or on things, and the superintendent could get back to us before, the weekend. Maybe, they're Google Docs mostly, right, to just add on, but, I don't know, unless this is a request from the office, is it something that's just too hard to do? I'm just curious as to if it's the time frame, or at least give us the main stuff, and then you could always add to it. It's up to you guys, but.
It's not that it's hard. My concern was I felt that I was always adding things. And I didn't want the board to be like, well, why wasn't this on, the agenda last Wednesday? But between Wednesday and Wednesday, a lot of things could come up. So as long as the board understands that we'll do our very best to get everything on there, things, as long as it's okay that things do come up. The other concern was that, for example, we were doing policy, we were doing our committee meetings the Tuesday before the week of the board meetings. So if we have, let's say, a policy meeting on a Tuesday, and we go into the evening, which sometimes we do, sometimes it's late, to have the policy revisions done and out by the next day is really not possible. So we'll then back up the policy meeting, so that it may not be the week immediately prior to the week of the meetings, but the week before that, so that we have time to actually make the edits and the changes. I didn't want to, I feel like when I rush, you know, you can make mistakes. I don't really want to make mistakes, so we'll just back it up. Okay.
On that note, the other thing we need to discuss and decide is whether we want to keep those meetings on the Tuesday. Do you want to back both up that much, or just a policy meeting 2 weeks before and the budget, finance, and facilities 1 week before? What works best for your office?
Some members may not be able to do Tuesday, so we may need to go to Monday. I don't know what everybody's availability is for Monday. I can reach out and find out availability for everyone. I think it's not a bad practice to have them both on one night, then you just sort of,
Okay,
you know, you have your committee meetings, you need to be prepared for them, and it's this, you know, it's this night and it's a set night. I think sometimes having a night you can predict that will always be there is better than moving it and trying to gather everybody's, you know, schedules.
does anybody have any issues keeping it on the Tuesday night like we had, Ben?
Yes.
I do.
Marty does.
I couldn't even be here earlier than 7.
Okay. What day of the week works best for you?
I could do Monday.
Does anybody have problems with Monday?
Depends on what time it is. It's usually hard for me on Mondays because,
Your meetings.
yeah.
Do Wednesdays, Thursday?
So we're looking at
Wait, which committee are we looking at? I'm just
Both.
curious.
the budget and policy.
Those are two committees that would meet once a month.
We could possibly do policy first, then budget and finance second, and then that way we could come later.
This policy's only once a month. Then we're going to be meeting once a month.
Yeah.
I could do. I could rearrange my schedule for once a month.
On a Tuesday?
On Tuesday, it'll be fun.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
If once a month, it's not a problem. I
Okay.
can rearrange.
Okay.
Does Tuesday work for everybody else?
Is that best for everyone else?
So far,
By what
I
I
know.
say, please. By all means,
Okay.
do what works for everybody else here. If you
Okay.
need it on a
Right.
Monday, I'm absolutely
Yeah, I guess
fine
that's
with it. I
okay.
will make
Tuesday?
every effort.
Yeah, we're just trying to see if any day doesn't work.
If
for-
somebody, yeah, like if
Like
like I can't do Wednesdays or something like that, that way we have an idea.
Class or something.
Okay,
Right.
okay,
I don't have a, I can start your class.
right, but things come up, I get it. Okay,
All
all
right,
right,
so
we'll work around that.
we'll
good.
have the committee meetings on the Tuesday, 2 weeks before
Right.
the caucus.
Correct.
Through the chair, we need to comment a little bit on the committees. Would you rather us do it in close or right out here in public?
It's not a
Should be in
private
public,
meeting.
right?
If somebody has any questions or concerns,
You have to do it
things like
now.
that. I have a question, so,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Okay, you want me on the budget, finance, and facilities, but you asked me which I would prefer, and I put policy. I've never been on that before. I don't mind taking it on and trying something new, but my comfort zone is more in the policy.
Okay, I thought you said either or. And one of the things I did try and do when we established this is not only look at who wants to be on what, but also look at who hasn't been on what. Because I really am trying to make sure everybody has the breadth of as many committees as possible in their experience, because I think the more everybody experiences and gets to know about, the easier it is to understand some of the conversations. And there are several people that I did work that way.
Can I speak?
Yes?
I think that for a new member, I think I took on a little too much here. Although I put down 2, and then you said that you could probably need for more.
Right.
Overlooking this, since I'm on review,
Well, there's 2 that are basically new members, which is vouchers,
Right.
which is you just show up early for the meetings and do that.
and then you go,
And then the Bergen County and NJSBA meetings, which are not even once a month.
okay. And so can we rearrange me just a little bit and get off the budget, finance, and facilities? I know I said something about that, but after seeing and talking.
Let's discuss that
Okay.
privately afterwards. Yeah, let's discuss that. I just want to have a more in-depth discussion on that.
Because I think it's just a little too many things for me to be on.
Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns? Okay, moving right along. Do we have any correspondence? Old business?
Correspondence, we have plenty.
I'm sure we're all aware that we've all received these 30 to 35 little cards anonymously from the teachers. Just want to say thank you. It was a very nice gesture.
Yes, thank you, and I thought they were very pretty cards. They were very well done. So thank you all. And also, I got a card, I don't know if everybody did, from the SBA, and thank you for that. That was also very nice. Oh, I skipped over, I'm sorry. We're going to go back, I'm sorry, I missed one line. Agenda items for board discussion. I was thinking that was below. I was like, did you change the way we're doing this?
No, we're good.
I'm like, wow.
I guess I should have worn my glasses.
The regular.
We don't have a student, so we didn't have that.
Questions about board action?
We don't have presentations, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to start here from board.
Can you read that?
Just go down these.
From here? Okay. Board action items, B17 and B18, approval of the meetings, and also B18 is to approve the Board of Education letter to the governor regarding the superintendent's salary caps. Everybody should have received that in an email this week. Does anybody have any questions, comments, any of those? Or do I have to open it first?
Just questions or comments?
Okay.
Nope.
Seeing none, moving on. Education and curriculum. Do we have any updates on that? And that will be E20, student services, through E24. Any?
Chair, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Back the road. People are asking me if they're going to be a chaperone on an overnight trip for any of the schools, 6th grade, 8th grade, whatever goes, and their fingerprints, if they're working in another district and they're already fingerprinted, can those be archived here, or do they need a new set of prints?
Archive.
Any other questions, comments?
Just a comment real quick. When I went to click on some of these, it says I didn't have access. So I'm just saying, even though I was logged in, some I could get in and some I couldn't. Did anyone else have that problem? Yes? Okay.
Field trip request.
Field trip, I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in. I think the workshops I got in, the facility use I couldn't get in, and a few of them, it said I had no permission.
Okay, I emailed Gina, and she made it so I had permission instantly. One of the things that happened on my end, I don't know about yours, is I was into a different email in Google already, and then went into this, so it did not know I was signed into the board email.
You had to log out and then log back in.
No,
Right,
I was in the
separately.
board because I could get on some and not others. So I was in
I
the
have
board.
her- I have her
email.
checking.
Okay. Just saying, I don't know if it's, when she shared it, if you, how they access permission.
Yeah, I had the same issue with field trip. That was the only one I couldn't get
Okay.
into.
Okay, in the future, if you have that, please
Just email Gina.
email Gina, and she can fix it very, very quickly for you.
I didn't have time to do that, sorry. I was in meetings till 3:30.
Any other questions or comments on student services, E20, 1 through 7, and E21 through E24? Okay, moving on. Finance, budget, and facilities. And it would be F61 through F72.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I just wanted to bring to the board's attention, for those of you who were at the workshop with us, the Bergen County workshop, where we saw Alicia DiLorenzo. She's on here, F69, to come in and present to our faculty on the 21st in the afternoon on wellness and mindful practices in the classroom. So many of you here saw her that evening, and she was really fantastic, and she was available, so.
Yeah, I think she did a great job at our presentation, and I think it's fabulous that she's coming in for our faculty. Any other comments, questions? Sure.
An F70. We're actually, Kim Salma has organized, as working with supervisors of STEM in other districts to coordinate this regional professional development. So on some cases, our teachers are going out, and in 2 cases, on day 2, we're actually hosting. So we'll have guests that day.
F67 and 68. These were 2 security items that we were able to budget in the 2018-19 budget using our capital monies. So we're moving forward with that. There were some cameras when we had the system installed several years ago. Now there were a couple areas that we need to address. So that is F67 and 68. We have a few roll-down security gates here at the high school. We want to add a few more so we can cordon off the building when the gyms are being used. There'll be like one section, this way nobody can get to the other part of the building, and then same when there's an auditorium use, that nobody can get to other areas of the building. These 2 projects are not part of the November separate question. Those are different items, and I'll comment more on that on Wednesday.
Anything else? All right, policy? Did you have anything?
I did.
Oh.
So just to let you know, so you will see that we have a first reading of these 3 policies regarding use of computer networks. The reason you're seeing a first reading once again is because when we did the revision in policy, we changed it at the advice of counsel. No, and because in other places, it's a common practice to have 3 minutes before you're logged out of your computer. But what we discovered was that until you try to put something into practice, you really don't know what kind of a snafu that is going to create. So if you remain on any given screen, let's say in Genesis on the grade book screen for more than 3 minutes, it thinks you haven't moved. So if you didn't refresh within 3 minutes and it was logging people out in the middle of their work and not saving their work, and for one school day, everyone wanted to kill me. No. And even in the lunchroom, when the elementary lunch aides were processing lunch, it was logging them out. So that was a Genesis glitch, and with Genesis, we cannot fix that. We've tried. Mike's back there. He can attest to this. The other thing we discovered was that, so we said, okay, well, that's fine. We'll just do it on your desktop. So if you walk away from your desk, which you shouldn't be walking away from your desk without hitting the little flag and the L to lock it, but if you walk away within 3 minutes, it will log you out. That sounds like a great intention. However, if a teacher is using her desktop to connect to her smartboard and is working on the smartboard but doesn't touch the desktop, it was logging the teachers out. Once again, I was very popular that day. It came to our attention, and I called Mike and I said, okay, call off the dogs. Disable that issue right now. So what you're seeing here is our revision, which says instead of 3 minutes, we have it to the length of an instructional period, which is the equivalent of approximately 45 minutes, so that a teacher can at least conduct his or her lesson using the technology provided, the educational technology provided, and not get locked out of his or her computer. So that's why the change. So sorry about that. We're trying to make it better, but we're still keeping the every 90 days, change your password so that we can make sure that our passwords are current and that we are improving our safety.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions on policy, first or second readings? Okay, moving on. Negotiations, still the same chairperson. Do you have anything to report? Moving to personnel, P78 through P130. Oh, that's all closed, okay. So we're done? Done that. New business.
Ray, did you want to address 129?
Okay, 129. So if I have it right, I think the hourly rate in 2018 was $8.60, so effective January 1st, 2019, we have to increase anybody below $8.85 to $8.85, so this is the list of staff working in the before and after care that need to get that increase.
Thank you. Well, we're going back to opening the public, right? Anybody have any new business? I believe we asked old business before.
Oh, sorry, I have something through the chair. Just to say that the Education Foundation's Tricky Trays sold out, and we have a waiting list, and there's people still wanting tickets, and it's become, we sold 250 tickets, and so I just want to say thank you to everyone who supports or supported it or bought tickets, and it's going to be a good time, just so you know. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good news.
That's excellent. Anything else? Well, we have to.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'd like to open the meeting for public. Can I have a motion?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have anybody from the public that wants to speak? No? Okay, then I'm not going to read the paragraph. Can we have a motion to close the meeting to the public? Okay, I'd like to, someone make a motion to adjourn to closed session.
Motion.
We're not taking action.
Can we get a second?
We're not taking any action.
There will be no action taken when we come back to open. We have a motion, do we get a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Have to read the statement?
To recess to close executive session to discuss personnel, HIB investigations, contract negotiations, and matters covered by the attorney-client privilege per NJSA 10-4-6 ET SEQ. Open Meeting Public Act. The subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action will not be taken when the board reconvenes in open session.